Power is a game played in shadows, where the rules are unwritten and the stakes are survival. To hold it requires more than strength or intelligence. It demands a mastery of perception, an understanding of human nature in its rawest form. The world does not reward the purely virtuous, nor does it tolerate the overtly cruel. There is a razor's edge between command and tyranny, between influence and infamy. Walk it carefully. To be respected without being loved, to be feared without being hated. This is the art of enduring authority. It is not about morality, nor is it about brute force. It is about psychology, about knowing when to show mercy and when to strike, when to speak and when to let silence do the work. The greatest leaders are not the most benevolent, nor the most ruthless, but those who understand the precise alchemy of fear and respect. Fear is a more reliable motivator than love. This is not cynicism, but observation. Love is fickle. It wavers with moods, falters with disappointments, fades with time. Fear, however, lingers. It does not require constant reinforcement. A single act of decisive strength, properly timed, can echo for years in the minds of those who witness it. But fear is a blade with no handle. Wield it carelessly, and it will cut the hand that holds it. The moment fear curdles into hatred, the foundation of power begins to crumble. A hated ruler is a target, not just of rebellion, but of quiet sabotage, of whispered conspiracies, of the slow erosion of loyalty until nothing remains but hollow authority. The key is not to avoid fear, but to control its dosage, to be unpredictable enough to keep others off balance, but not so cruel that they have nothing left to lose. Respect is not given, it is taken. It cannot be demanded, only earned through displays of competence, decisiveness, and when necessary, ruthlessness. The weak mistake kindness for leadership, believing that generosity alone will secure loyalty. But generosity, when untempered by strength, is seen as weakness. The strong know that respect is a currency paid in actions, not words. Yet respect, like fear, must be carefully managed. Too much familiarity erodes it. Too much distance makes it brittle. A leader must be close enough to understand the currents of their domain, but never so close that they become just another voice in the crowd. Hatred is the death of power. It is the point at which fear ceases to be a tool and becomes a liability. The hated ruler lives in constant peril, surrounded by smiles that hide daggers, by nods of agreement that mask plans of rebellion. Hatred unites enemies. It turns rivals into allies, the indifferent into adversaries. The wise leader knows that hatred is not born from strength, but from excess, from unnecessary cruelty, from humiliation, where intimidation would suffice, from personal vendettas mistaken for strategy. To avoid hatred, one must never take more than necessary, never punish beyond utility, never let pride dictate what pragmatism should resolve. Most leaders talk too much. They explain when they should remain enigmatic, justify when they should withhold, reveal their thoughts when mystery would serve them better. Silence is power. It forces others to fill the void with their own anxieties, their own projections. A leader who speaks sparingly makes every word weightier. Strategic silence is not mere absence. It is a presence. It is the art of saying nothing while saying everything. The unreadable face, the unanswered question, the unresolved tension. These are the tools that keep others guessing, that prevent them from anticipating the next move. There are moments when mercy is a virtue, and there are moments when it is a fatal flaw. The leader who cannot be ruthless when the situation demands it will not remain a leader for long. Sentimentality has no place in the preservation of power, but ruthlessness must be surgical, not emotional. It is not about rage or vengeance. It is about removing obstacles with precision. The strongest leaders do not enjoy destruction. They simply recognize it as a necessary function of their role. And when they act, they do so swiftly, decisively, without hesitation or apology. Power does not reside in reality. It resides in perception. What people believe is often more important than what is true. A leader's authority is not derived from their actual strength, but from the belief in their strength. This is why image must be carefully cultivated, not through empty posturing, but through calculated displays, moments of visible competence, demonstrations of resolve, the occasional reminder of consequences. The wise leader knows that perception is a narrative, and they ensure they are the one writing it. Predictability is the enemy of power. The moment others can anticipate your actions, they can manipulate you. They can plan around you. They can lull you into complacency before striking. Unpredictability is not chaos. It is controlled variability. It is the ability to be merciful when expected to be harsh, and harsh when expected to yield. It keeps rivals uncertain, subordinates attentive, enemies cautious. The leader who cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. Leadership is a solitary endeavor. The higher one rises, the fewer true confidants remain. Trust becomes a liability. Vulnerability becomes a weakness. The leader who seeks friendship in power will find only betrayal. This loneliness is not accidental. It is necessary. Emotional distance is the price of clarity. The leader who becomes too entangled in personal bonds will hesitate when action is required. They will favor loyalty over competence, sentiment over strategy. Rivals are inevitable. The question is not how to eliminate them. That is impossible. But how to manage them. Some must be crushed. Others can be co-opted. A few may even be elevated if doing so serves a greater purpose. The key is never to act out of insecurity. The leader who strikes at every slight reveals fear, not strength. The truly powerful tolerate minor challenges, knowing that not every battle is worth fighting. But when they do move against a rival, they ensure it is decisive. All leaders are betrayed. It is not a question of if, but when. The mistake is taking it personally. Betrayal is not about morality. It is about opportunity. The wise leader expects it, prepares for it, and ensures that no single betrayal can unravel their position. The strongest response to betrayal is not rage, but indifference. The demonstration that the betrayer was never essential, that their absence is inconsequential, that their defiance changes nothing. Emotion is the enemy of strategy. Anger clouds judgment. Fear breeds hesitation. Pride leads to overreach. The leader who cannot master their own emotions will be mastered by them. This does not mean becoming cold or inhuman. It means recognizing that emotions are tools to be deployed, not forces to be obeyed. The leader who can feign anger when calm, or remain calm when provoked, holds an immense advantage. No power is absolute. Every throne rests on a foundation of shifting alliances, unspoken agreements, and temporary concessions. The leader who forgets this grows complacent. The leader who remembers it remains vigilant. Power is not a possession. It is a performance. It must be renewed daily through displays of competence, through the careful balancing of threats and rewards, through the unspoken understanding that authority is a shared illusion. The moment the audience stops believing, the play is over. Be respected enough that your commands are followed without question. Be feared enough that betrayal carries consequences too severe to risk. But never be hated, for hatred is the one force that can unite the weak against the strong. The rest is just details.